The illegal ivory trade and poaching of African elephants has continued to be a key wildlife conservation issue for decades. There have been a tremendous degree of attention and sacrifices made by organisations, rangers, and individuals across the world to help control and stem the flow of illegal ivory sales and to protect the threat against the elephant population. The facilitators of illegal ivory trade are complex. There have been many policies and strategies implemented as a result. In 1997, the Convention of the International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora mandated traffic in order to maintain a system to monitor the ivory trade known as the Elephant Trade and Information System, ETIS. The database holds thousands of records relating to seizing ivory and law enforcement actions from over 100 countries across the globe. The system has enabled monitoring of the trade flow and evolving markets of ivory. Traffic has been a key element of the exposure of unregulated domestic ivory markets and has offered great support in the efforts to close down the trade. The ivory trade has been around since the 14th century, with the exportations from Africa and Asia. It wasn't until the 19th century that ivory was in high demand and seen as a luxury item in Europe, China, and Japan. The demand was for production of products such as religious art pieces, ivory keys, and jewellery. The increase in demand saw an overhunting and vast decline in the population of elephants due to the killing of the innocent mammals for their tusks. In the 1800s, there was a population of over 26 million elephants. Today, there is only a remaining 1 million elephants living wild in their natural habitat. In 2012 alone, it is recorded that there were 25,000 elephants slaughtered for ivory. A worldwide ban on ivory sales came into place in 1989 and saw an increase of over 1 million in population of elephants. Sadly, the increase for demand and pressure from Africa and Asia saw the Convention of International Trade in Endangered Species allow two sanctioned sales of ivory. The driving economic forces that facilitate the illicit trade and supply and demand. In China, which is one of the largest consumers of illegal ivory for their traditions of carving ivory, along with a booming middle class, resulted in 84% of the sales in China being illegal. The ivory trade also fuels corruption and organised crime alongside funding terrorist organisations in some regions across the world. This has a destabilising effect on the communities and government, leading to increased conflict and insecurity. Terrorist groups such as Al-Shabaab in Somalia and the Lord's Resistance Army in Uganda have been known to fund their activities through ivory sales. The groups exploit weak law enforcement in African countries to smuggle ivory out and sell on the black market. The profits they then make are used to fund terrorist activities such as weapon buying, fighter recruitment, and the carrying out of violent attacks. Alongside this, organised crime groups use black market ivory sales to fund drug trafficking and human trafficking operations. The sales of illegal ivory across borders on the black market has contributed to the spread of disease. Some countries allow for the sale of ivory within their borders, but have strict regulations in place to ensure it is sourced legally, with certification requirements in place as evidence that the ivory is sourced ethically. Penalties for illegal trading include hefty fines and often imprisonment in order to deter people from becoming involved with the illegal selling and transporting of ivory. Criminal theories of strain theory and rational choice explain the involvement of those who poach, transport, and sell the products illegally. The money made outweighs the risk of being caught, with poachers predominantly coming from areas of financial unsettlement and poverty, and who want to provide for their families and improve living conditions. Many countries work together through organisations such as Convention of International Trade in Endangered Species to coordinate efforts to combat the illegal ivory trade on a global scale. In the UK, the ivory trade is heavily regulated. The Ivory Act 2018, which came into force on the 20th of December 2019, bans the commercial trade of ivory in the UK, meaning that it is illegal to buy or sell ivory, with few limited exemptions for items that are a minimum of 100 years old and contain a small amount of ivory, alongside products that are of significant historic or cultural value. The Act also states that it is illegal to export ivory from the UK into other countries. Punishments given by the UK criminal justice system include financial penalties of up to £250,000 or a maximum prison sentence of 5 years. As the UK is a signatory to CITES, it means that alongside the UK Ivory Act 2018, it also follows the rules and regulations set by them. The laws set by the UK aim at protecting elephants and other species from extinction. Almost 600,000 kilos of illegal ivory has been seized since 1991. These figures represent the death of approximately 50,000 elephants per year. As in the case of commodity, the ivory trade is driven by demand. Higher ivory market prices lead to higher poaching incentives. The cost to the global economy is estimated to be billions of dollars each year. According to a report by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, the illegal ivory trade is worth an estimated $23 billion annually. These costs include poaching, trafficking, and the impact on local economies and communities. Additionally, the illegal ivory trade has detrimental impact on the environment and biodiversity, which in return adds further costs to the economy. Many countries that are home to elephants rely on tourism as a source of income. The presence of elephants in the wild is a major attraction to tourists. The risk of extinction from illegal slaughtering for ivory leads to a risk of declining tourism. Along with elephants being a beautiful animal, which is fascinating to see in its natural habitat, elephants play a crucial role in maintaining the ecosystem and biodiversity of their habitats. Elephants consume a wide variety of plant species and travel a long distance to search for food, which helps spread the seeds across vast areas, aiding to process regeneration of plants. Due to the enormity of elephants, they have the ability to knock down trees whilst they cross the safari plains, enabling sunlight to reach forest floors and promote growth of the plants, providing habitats for other animals and insects. Elephants are known to dig large waterholes in dry riverbeds during drought. These waterholes provide hydration for other animals in times of water scarcity, creating important water points for various animals. The loss of elephants due to poaching disrupts the balance of the ecosystem and can lead to a decline in other species with risk of extinction. The ending of the illegal ivory trade is crucial for several reasons, which include the conservation of endangered species, protection of the ecosystem and economy, and global security. Ending the trade can help reduce conflict between humans and wildlife and promote coexistence. It requires a concerted effort from governments, law enforcement agencies, and conservation organisations with the support of the public to ensure a sustainable future for elephants and other wildlife.